Hello, my dears. It is day 4. How did your writing go yesterday? How did it feel? I would love to know. So please, please jump into the Facebook group and share and let me know like how things are feeling and what's going on for you and where you kind of are, feeling stuck or feeling amazing or just kind of where you are because we all kind of understand the roller coaster and the ups and the downs of creating. So, now that we've kind of gone through that process, the whole clear, connect, create thing, which, you know, this is a process that we're all going to be continuing to learn and grow with and iterate for, our whole artistic lives, honestly. So this is kind of just the beginning of learning how to play with that. And you've probably done, a lot of this already on your own. Because you are intuitive geniuses. So anyway, but I hope like what's come so far has been helpful. And so day 4, like we're all creating for a reason. Like we have something to share. We have something that we feel will really benefit the world. We have a story or an idea or a world, or we have just something that we think can benefit and connect with, with our readers. And so, that's kind of on the deepest level. But then on the other level, there's also, maybe you are a business owner and you want to get your book out to really kind of establish yourself more or, have more credibility, or like there are a zillion different kind of practical real world reasons to do this. So this kind of brings us to the next idea, which is really, it's about trust. And trust can be a tricky little bitch. Trust is, I think I argue with myself about trust like at least 2 times a day. Because with this kind of writing, with the really like deep, intuitive, hooking in with the creative mojo of the entire universe kind of stuff that we're doing, it's not always going to show up in say the most marketable package, or it's not going to show up the way you expected it to show up. So we have to trust that what we have created is, it's precisely what it needs to be. I was going to say perfect, and maybe it's not perfect. Maybe it still needs some work. Perfect isn't necessarily the goal, but on some level, it is perfect because it is what has come through for you, and it is, what needed to show up. Whether it needed to show up for your own, your own journey and your own kind of, transformational process, or because it's what is needed by, thousands of millions of people out there who are going to be really drawn to it because it did come from that place. So really, we're being asked to trust what we create. We're being asked to trust in the process, even if the process doesn't look the way we wanted it to or the way we hoped it would. We're being asked to trust that, once we have, finished the book, finished our draft and taken it as far as we can, we're asked to trust that the help we need will show up, whether that's an editor or, a publisher or an agent or, whatever it is. We just have to trust that will appear, that will show up for us, and the perfect thing will show up, even if, again, it doesn't look the way we kind of wanted it to or hoped it would, maybe. And then we have to just trust that our work will find the people who need it, the people who long for it, the people who really deeply desire it, whether they're like actively looking for it right now or, they didn't know that that's what they needed until they, they picked up your book on the bookshelf or they downloaded it or, a friend gave it to them. So, as you start working with this process and writing from this place and kind of, bringing forth something that may surprise you or, may not look the way you thought it might look. This is a good place to practice trusting that it's perfect. It is what it should be. It's doing the job it needs to do. And you just have to keep kind of returning to it and keep returning to, the place where you can connect with your own emotion and connect with your own intuition and your own spark. So even if, you create something and you're like, this actually really isn't feeling aligned. This isn't feeling like what I want to continue with. Like, just sit with it and be like, hey, is this really, is it really something that I need to let go of? Or am I just like kind of resisting pushing through the next wall? Because sometimes, when we do push through those walls that are really like right up in our face, that's when most beautiful work can happen. So, but do trust your intuition and do trust that the answers will show up for you. So yeah, all through this writing process, as you begin to bring out your first draft, trust that what comes through is right, even if you don't know how or why yet. Trust that the process will be what it needs to be. Trust that it will find the right people in the right time. Trust. And, this piece of it, may be challenging and may kind of tap into our, I personally am a bit of a perfectionist and maybe a bit of a control freak. So I don't always like this because I want to know how it's going to work and I want to know that it's right and I want to, know that XYZ 27 is going to happen just the way I decided it would. And sadly, no. So trust. And, so I think with that, because trust is a rather fuzzy homework assignment, I think really, just take this idea and kind of, let it filter in. Let the idea that it's all happening perfectly and that your work will find the people who need it and will magnetize to it the people who need it. Like, trust that that is actual fact and that will happen, even if it doesn't feel like it, even if it doesn't look like it yet. So just sort of let that idea begin to, take seed and begin to grow inside of you so that you can really begin to enjoy the process a bit more because you know that it's all happening just as it should. So with that, I think, yeah, this is day 4. So we have one more day, which is tomorrow. And yeah, if you're really loving this process, or if you're feeling like you need a little bit more guidance with it, I do free 30-minute calls where I kind of tap into the channeling and I sort of feel into your energy and I feel into your process and like your journey and all of these things, and just really kind of, we can, it can be any number of things. It can be comfort and a little spiritual hair stroking if that's what you need. It can be, really kind of practical ideas that are, intuitively tailored to you, because that's how I work. But if you do feel like you would like a little bit more help, and maybe you're interested in going further, we could talk about that too, if the call felt like it was fun and useful for you. But either way, it's kind of no pressure. Like, this is my favorite work to do in the world, so I always love getting on the phone with people and hearing about like what they're doing and what they're working on and how I can help, whether it's in that half an hour or it's over 4 months or it's over 10 months, because I'm doing a couple of different things right now depending on where you are and what you need. So if that sounds good, I'll make sure to have a little button so you can schedule a call. And either way, come to the Facebook group and let us know how you're getting on. And I will see you tomorrow for our last day.